Okay, so you want to write a hardship letter either for a short sale application or for a loan modification. I'm going to tell you how to do it. I think it should be 4 lines, it should be typed. And the reason I wanted to do this is before I recorded this, I went onto YouTube and I looked at all of the other videos for people giving advice and their opinion as to how you should do a loan modification or a short sale application hardship letter. And in all of them, there was, for me at least, one glaring error. Everybody seems to be missing one very important point. And that point is, why are they asking you to write a hardship letter? So, in terms of the other videos, everybody seems to be saying, well, you should keep it down to 2 pages. 2 pages, 2 paragraphs is too much. There was one guy on there, quite clearly an attorney, he's dressed in a grey suit, he has a grey persona. He's the kind of guy that if you sat down next to him on an aeroplane trip, you'd be looking around checking to see where the emergency exits are. But he did make an important point, which is that in law, the bank in question are not obligated to read your hardship letter. And I'm thinking, okay, well then the next obvious question he's going to ask then is, why are they asking you to do it? It's not like they can't get the information any other way. I mean, if you're filling in a form, you'd have a checkbox. What are the reasons for your hardship? Is it divorce? Is it illness? Have you lost your job? Are you being relocated? Other, please explain. It's not, on a computer, it would be simply a drop-down list and you select them. So why are they asking you to do a hardship letter? Well, I think partly the reason behind that can be seen in statistics. You see, for every 5 applications for a short sale, only 2 are approved. It's in the low 40%, okay? So the bank are assuming this thing's gonna fail. In terms of a loan modification, it's even worse than that. We're in single-digit percentage points that get approved to go from a trial loan modification, which is almost certainly what they're offering you now, to a full long-term recast, a new 30, 40-year fixed rate term. So they're expecting these applications to fail. So why are they ask yourself the same question. Why are they asking you to fill out a hardship letter? Well, to me, it's fairly simple. They're fishing for information. They want you to confirm that you committed fraud when you took out your loan. There's only 3 reasons why a loan modification or a short sale is going to get approved. It's either I had no money, I have no money, or I'm moving, or I'm getting divorced. That's it, there's nothing else. If you can afford to pay your mortgage, don't apply for a short sale. You'll have a very short journey in a very fast car with a couple of flashing lights on the top. That's called mortgage fraud. It's also known as strategic default. Another thing that I've noticed recently is that whenever I call some of the banks, they've started to ask me questions. Is there any member of the household an active military service? And I question that and I think, why all of a sudden are they starting to do that? And that's pretty obvious to me as well, also, because there was an occasion recently where a guy who's serving in active military service in the Middle East was offered a trial loan modification. And while he's out there putting his life on the line, the bank continued to foreclose, even though he was current on his payments. You can imagine what the guy who was the head of the PR division of that bank must have thought when this came out on national television. That slow realization that I need to go and find the situation's vacant column and find another job because they just screwed up. This is basically the bank fishing for information. So don't tell them. It needs to be 4 lines. Dear Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America, wherever your bank is. I can no longer afford to pay my mortgage because my wife ran off with a dental hygienist who doesn't have any lips and comes from Atlanta. Or I slipped on the mold floor and I broke my back and now I'm never going to be able to work it. Whatever it is, explain your hardship there. Please note, in the event of a short sale, you should point out that this is permanent and it's not going to change anytime soon. If it's a death of a family member, the doctors advised me that this time next year he's still going to be dead. If it's a loan modification, it's temporary and you fixed it. I was on short-time wages. Now the job's back and I'm back on my normal salary again. That's all you need to say, nothing else. 4, 5 lines at most. Sign it and date it. I would type it, and that's it. I've done 100 successful short sales. I know how to get these things approved. Don't give them any information that they do not need to know. My name is Greg Owen. I'm the broker of Easy Home Store in Central Florida. And if you want to discuss this with me, you can call me on 407-557-7126. My name's Greg Owen, and I approve this message.